There really is no pain greater in the world than being a fan of the Chicago Cubs. I know last year I got frustrated a lot. I'm going to try and hold that back, be a bit more professional with everything, but all the other stuff out during the game. But I mean, it kind of gets to a point to where, you know, we waited so long for this day, and yeah, nothing happened. Am I surprised? No, they're the Cubs. I can't be surprised at anything of them being awful or performing in a really disappointing fashion as they did tonight. And this is going to be a really tough game to sit on for 45 hours. It's not ideal for this to happen, especially when there's a lot of good hype going around team and they come out and they have 5 hits. Like, that's something we want. In the whole 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position, that sucks too. Dexter Fowler had a hit, which was a double. We had 3 doubles tonight. Fowler, Coghlan, and Ross all tallied doubles, while Castro and Tommy Listella added singles. Listella to stolen base. Ross and Montero both had throwing errors, and that was frustrating. But another frustrating thing was there seemed to be, at some moments, just a lack of fire in the team. If there was one guy that showed a lot of enthusiasm and fire throughout the night, it was Tommy Listella, and I got to give it to them. This guy looked energized, he looked ready to play, and he looked fantastic. And I really liked that. But, you know, just some lazy plays. You know, there was the hit that turned into a double off of Jason Hayward's bat, the confusion between Starlin Castro and Chris Coghlan. Like, that can't happen. Or Jorge Soler fumbling balls in right field. That can't happen, and that's disappointing. Pitching-wise, John Lester, as I expected, didn't look very good. He went 4 1/3, allowed 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Clearly not 100%, so hopefully that gets better. But how about the bullpen? After that, the bullpen looked stunning. Bullpen combined had 2 hits and 2 walks allowed. Phil Koch went 2/3 of an inning, allowed a walk, struck out both of his hitters. Jason Mott pitched a perfect inning. Neil Ramirez pitched an inning, allowed a hit, struck out 1. Pedro Strop, inning, allowed a hit, struck out 2. Hector Rondon, inning, allowed a walk. They all looked really good. So that's a big positive, is that this bullpen looks unstoppable. They look really good, and that's the type of stuff that I need to see, is at least the bullpen gave the Cubs a chance to stay in the game, and that I like a lot. But outside of that, you know, I'm really not that happy with everything that went on, and rightfully so, and I don't think a lot of Cubs fans are. It's extremely frustrating to see this kind of performance on opening night where you can't score a run, where you have 13 opportunities where a base hit can drive in a run and you don't do anything. Well, that's really frustrating, and it should be. And, you know, this is kind of the situation that started with last year, that opening series against Pittsburgh. They looked abysmal. So hopefully this all changes for Tuesday. I advise everybody enjoy baseball tomorrow. You know, you're going to have the NCAA final basketball game. That'll be a great game to watch. And then going into Tuesday, we have Jake Arrieta and Lance Lynn. Hopefully that works out pretty well. I'm really confident with how Jake Arrieta looked in spring training, and hopefully that'll transcend to him pitching a very good game on Tuesday night. And then Lance Lynn, somebody that the Cubs have had success against before, so hopefully that can happen and that can turn into something better. And hopefully the Cubs can pick up a win. Because remember what I said, you know, this is a game where a guy like Chris Bryant could have made a difference. And I understand that when you're looking at the lineup and you're looking at the conditions with the wind blowing in, balls are not going to get hit out. Chris Coghlan hit one that the camera angle made it look like it was a bomb, and it stayed in the park. And that kind of sucks. So I wasn't really happy with that. But putting all of that aside, I mean, you know, what are you going to do? We have some positives. The bullpen looked good. But there's clearly things that need to be fixed with this team, and hopefully it'll just happen over time. I still have confidence, and especially 12 days from now when we can expect Chris Bryant to come up, then that'll really be fixed. But I'm not really going to spend too much time harping on it. I'm extremely frustrated, but that's just the way it is. I'm actually not going to make a video tomorrow. I'm going to hold off on it. I'm going to do a video on April 7th. I'll post a few text updates tomorrow on the Facebook page, but no video. I don't really think I'll have anything to talk about unless something big happens. As far as just general baseball news, we had the big news with Craig Kimbrell and Melvin Upton, formerly B.J. Upton, both getting traded to the Padres. That's a big blockbuster trade. Makes San Diego look all the much better. But tomorrow, just enjoy opening day, enjoy all the year baseball. Hope the White Sox lose because, we're Cubs fans at the end of the day. And enjoy the NCAA final game between Wisconsin and Duke. And then we'll see you back on Tuesday where the Cubs will take on the Cardinals from Wrigley Field at night. And that'll be Jake Arrieta against Lance Lynn. A pretty good matchup. I'm excited for it. And hopefully Jake Arrieta will have a pretty good opening start. But that's all I have for you today, Cubs fans. As tough as it is, keep the hope for Clark and Addison. We have 161 games left, and hopefully we'll score some runs in those games. Good night.